Hello, this is Tom with the Tractor Rescue Ranch. I had a subscriber ask me what I was going to use for a power plant for the sawmill, and this is my intent here. This is going to be the cheapest and easiest way to go. This is a D4 cat, and I got so many new subscribers, I'm sure you haven't seen the previous videos on this. But anyway, this cat sat for 40 years at a neighboring ranch up here north of me, and the guy was wanting somebody to haul it off to the scrapyard, and so I picked it up instead of sending it to the scrapyard. And anyway, it had stayed covered, so there was no water that got into anything. But both motors, the pony motor and the main motor, was locked up. But I got real lucky on them, putting some lube down the spark plug holes, and I pulled all the injectors out, put lube down into the cylinders, and I got both motors broke loose. The clutches in it were way out of adjustment. The main clutch and the steering clutches were way out of adjustment, and once I got those adjusted, got things unlocked, I got this old girl running after sitting for 40 years, and it runs pretty dang good. The running gear on it is showing a lot of wear. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it to show you here, but the pins and bushings on it are wore out. So the tracks stay on and everything works good, but it wouldn't be a good runner to put a whole lot of hours on because of that running gear being worn out. So anyway, it's my intent to run that sawmill off the PTO of this thing. And the problem with the PTO, running the sawmills with PTOs, is, well, depending on which direction the shaft comes out, the PTOs on most tractors are going the wrong direction. But it just so happens that this PTO, this piece is the gear shifter for it, and this PTO will go either direction. So I can put this PTO, with this gearbox here, I can put this PTO in reverse and just run a straight shaft onto the sawmill to run it. The way that sawmill's set up, a regular PTO on a tractor will turn it the wrong way. But with this in reverse, that'll be the cheapest way. All it'll take is a drive line, and then I'll have to make a part to hook the drive line onto the main shaft of that sawmill. So I think that'll be the cheapest way to power that sawmill. This, I don't believe they used the PTO much on this tractor. The splines on that don't look wore at all on it. So that's my one option. This is a D4 7U. Pretty nice old gal. Sure glad that I was able to save it. So that's the one option. Oh, this tractor has, I just looked it up, 64 horsepower on the PTO horsepower. So that's looking pretty good. I've seen two different documents. One said 57 and the other one said 64, so I'm not sure exactly. So that's what we would have with that. And so I'll show you my second option. So this is my second option. This is an International 4156, and I got this tractor from the same gentleman I got the D4 from, and This tractor, the history of it, he got it from his brother who passed away, but right before his brother, the way the story goes, right before his brother passed away, he had the oil changed in it and they messed up on the filter and dumped the oil out of it, and so they had to rebuild the motor. So according to the story, this tractor has a brand new motor in it. But whenever I got a hold of it, the steering mechanism, there's 4-wheel steering on these tractors, well, either 2 or 4. There's a shifter in there. You can go between 2 and 4, and both the steering mechanism was messed up on it when I got it, and so both wheels were turned to go down the road sideways. So anyway, I got that fixed. All I did, I had to make some parts, but I got that fixed, and I never have been able to get the 4-wheel steering working on it, but the 2-wheel steering works on it just fine. So this is my second option on the power in the sawmill. This has got 1,000 RPM PTO on it, but it'll be going the wrong direction, and that's turning it too fast, turning the sawmill too fast anyway, the 1,000 RPM. So if I used this tractor, I would have to come out the back and go onto a pulley and then run the pulley onto the sawmill so I can get it going the right direction. And this tractor, the stats on it says it's the PTO horsepower on it's 140. So that piece of equipment would be great as far as horsepower goes, but it cost me a bunch more to get it hooked up to the mill. So there's the end of the shaft on the sawmill. So if I go with a D4 dozer, I'll have to build an apparatus that'll go on that and then go straight out to the drive line. If I use the International, I'll have to get another smaller pulley to match this and a bunch of belts and mount that off to the side with a bunch of belts so I can get the thing going the right direction. Anyway, those are my options on power, and I've got lots of power, lots of horsepower available. It's just whichever I'm going to be able to afford to come up with. That mill is supposed to have 100 or 54 inch, I believe, a 54 inch blade on it. Now, I've been looking for a blade. Haven't been able to find one, but if I get that 54 inch blade, either way I go on this power plant, I should have enough horsepower with the 54 inch blade from what I'm putting together here. So anyway, thanks for watching.